Good afternoon, everyone. I said to somebody on the way in, this part never gets old. There will never be a time where I am bored or through celebrating new gorgeous spaces for our young people, for our children. I had a chance to have a brief conversation with one of our principals this afternoon as we were coming in, and I don't think Principal Thompson will mind me saying that when I asked, Chair Chinya and I, or former Chair Chinya and I were talking with her, and we said, so how do you like, the new building? And she said, I cried. I cried. I went in my office, I walked in, and I cried. And I said, how'd your teachers like the building? And she said, they came in, were awestruck, and they cried. And so I think that really captures the essence of this moment. And I want to really thank everybody for coming out in the midst of what we know still is an ongoing kind of challenging time for our country, for the world, and clearly for our city and state. But you came out today for some of the good news, and that is the opening of 3 new 21st century school buildings. Two of which have new names. The Katherine Johnson Global Academy, formerly known as Calverton Elementary Middle. Billie Holiday Elementary, formerly James Mosher Elementary, and Robert W. Komen Elementary. So we are absolutely thrilled at the opening of these new schools. The fact that it was our community and students and parents and families that participated in the new naming of the 2 newly named schools. And as always, it really is a great opportunity to thank our partners at Baltimore City, Maryland Stadium Authority, the IAC, which stands for the Interagency Commission on School Construction, and the state of Maryland for their ongoing support for this transformative school construction program. I also would like to thank and recognize our former board chair, Chair Linda Chinya, and offer my thanks to Mayor Brandon Scott and Council President Nick Mosby, as well as Delegate Marlon Ampry, Councilman John Bullock, and Director Tisha Edwards of the Mayor's Office of Children and Family Success. I also want to thank the City Schools 21st Century team for, as always, somebody asked me, I think the mayor asked me, so which schools are we going to next week? And I said, Mayor, my 21st Century team just manages me and tells me where to be. And it's because they are on it that we can be on it today. And so I'm pleased to recognize them. I want to just make sure that we also recognize some of our summer interns in the 21st Century office. Now, these are Baltimore City Public Schools young people who interned with the 21st Century office this summer. And I want you to please stand as I call your name. So we have Carmen Norman, who's our 11th grader at Baltimore Polytechnic Institute. Thank you for your work, Carmen. We have Michaela Little, a 10th grader at Western High School. Thank you, Michaela. We have Xavion Gulliver, a senior at Edmondson Westside High School. Thank you. We have Micaiah Maddox, a 10th grader at City Neighbors High School. And finally, we have Winter Crosby, an 11th grade student at Augusta Fell Savage Institute of Visual Arts. I want to thank all of you and really just wish you the best for this upcoming new school year. And I want to also thank kind of the many names and faces of the families, the community members, community organizers. You are the folks who advocated for this building we have today. Long before I stood here as CEO, long before I was even in the city of Baltimore. And I'm now, I think, proudly in my 11th or 12th year as a Baltimore City resident. Long before I was even in this city, you all were out advocating for our young people that these are the buildings that they deserve. And so this is the manifestation of generational hopes and dreams and generational persistence to make sure that our young people in Baltimore City have the 21st century spaces they deserve. So I want to give a shout out to all of you as well for keeping our young people the center of all that we do. It is now my pleasure to introduce our friend and partner, the chairman of the Maryland Stadium Authority, Mr. Thomas Kelso.
Thank you very much, Dr. Santelises. It is really great to be here and to see you and everyone else that's gathered here today. The Maryland Stadium Authority is excited to be here, and Maryland Governor Larry Hogan has asked me to send his sincere congratulations, and he expresses his gratitude for the 21st Century School Buildings Program that is changing Maryland for the better. Katherine Johnson once said, "I was excited at something new, always liked something new, but give credit to everybody who helped. I didn't do anything alone, but try to go to the root of the question and succeed there." We are here today at the Katherine Johnson Global Academy because of the tireless efforts by community and faith leaders, parents and teachers, students and alumni, together with city and state officials who successfully advocated for this historic school construction program that has now inspired a statewide effort. With our program partners, Baltimore City Schools, Baltimore City, and the Maryland Interagency Commission on School Construction, better known as the IAC, MSA has now delivered 23 of 28 modernized school buildings on time and on budget. Together, we contribute to the education of Baltimore's children and the employment of its citizens, while creating opportunities for local businesses and inspiring neighborhood revitalization. Through this program, we are pleased to report that to date, 948 positions have been filled by local Baltimore residents, exceeding the 369 position commitments originally anticipated, and that $352 million in contracts have been awarded so far to Maryland certified minority and women-owned businesses, equating to 33.1% MBE participation. I would like to recognize MSA's Executive Director, Michael Friends, and our Board of Directors for their leadership, but I especially want to recognize Gary McGuigan and Eric Johnson, who oversee this program for MSA, and their highly professional staff, like Joe Mazek. Joe, are you here in the room? There he is, who did this project. Tyler DeMont, Tyler, you're in the room, right? Who did the other two schools we're talking about today, along with Kyle Edmonds and Chad Carter, the project managers that led the renovations and replacements of these schools. I also want to recognize David Wraith, MSA's CFO, for the program's overall financial management and the necessary bond issuances that make the funding of these programs possible. Also joining us here in person today is Kim Douglas, MSA's Assistant Vice President, Collaborative Development and Community Engagement. And finally, thank you to RRMM Architects, MCN Southway, Walden Hughes Partnership, Dustin Construction, JRS, and Whiting Turner, our project partners, for these state-of-the-art schools that are fully accessible, adaptable, and sustainable. In closing, MSA was established 35 years ago to build, manage, and maintain quality sports and entertainment facilities in Maryland. MSA's mission has since expanded and evolved to include sports marketing, conducting economic studies, and to date, $3 billion in a broad array of construction projects and programs across the state. However, it is perhaps the 21st Century Schools building program that best exemplifies our agency's culture of service and mission to provide enjoyment, enrichment, education, and business opportunities for our citizens. Additionally, inspired by the success of the 21st Century School Buildings program in Baltimore City, the Build to Learn Act has been enacted to construct or renovate public school facilities throughout the state. The MSA looks forward to again working with the IAC in delivering modernized school buildings for students and communities in multiple jurisdictions all throughout Maryland. Now, please let me welcome Jamie Bridges of the IAC, who will present the governor's citations to each school.
Thanks, Tom. Thank you, everybody. It is so good to see you. And I'm so glad to be here on behalf of the Interagency Commission on School Construction for the dedication of 3 new school buildings, Billie Holiday Elementary, Katherine Johnson Global Academy, and Robert Komen Elementary School. Before I present the governor's citations, I do want to recognize all the good, hard work put in to date to make the dream of these 3 new schools real. To plan, design, and build the 3 schools cost more than $94 million. To keep the dream real for 30 years or more will take a lot more good, hard work. To operate, maintain, and renew the 3 school buildings will cost more than it did to make them. So it'll cost more than $188 million to make sure that the teachers can teach and that the students can learn at these 3 schools for 30 years. $188 million. That is a lot. But we are all here because we know it. We know, because we know it's all worth it. We know that the good work, the teaching, and the learning is well worth it. So, without further ado, I would like to put away my spreadsheet and to celebrate by presenting governor's citations to the 3 principals of these new schools. I will start by asking Principal Logan to join me on stage, and I'm going to do each one individually. Oh, yes. Thank you, and Dr. Santelises as well. Be it known that on behalf of the citizens of this state, in recognition of the outstanding commitment of the students, faculty, and staff of the Billie Holiday Elementary School to quality education and academic excellence, with sincere congratulations on the occasion of the ribbon cutting of your renovated school as an expression of our admiration, great respect, and warmest best wishes for success in the days and the years to come, we are pleased to confer upon you this governor's citation.
Step over, please. Here we go. Looking at this camera right here, please. Go.
That's it.
Thank you.
All right, next I would like to ask Principal Johnson to join us. Or, I'm sorry, Principal Spencer to join us. You may have heard this one before. Be it known that on behalf of the citizens of this state, in recognition of the outstanding commitment of the students, faculty, and staff of the Katherine Johnson Global Academy to quality education and academic excellence, with sincere congratulations on the occasion of the ribbon cutting of your new replacement school, as an expression of our admiration, great respect, and warmest best wishes for success in the days and the years to come. We are pleased to confer upon you this governor's citation. All right, and the last one, I would like to ask Principal Thompson to join us on stage. This is definitely the fun part. It never gets old. All right then, be it known that on behalf of the citizens of this state, in recognition of outstanding commitment of the students, faculty, and staff of the Robert Coleman Elementary School to quality education and academic excellence, with sincere congratulations on the occasion of the ribbon cutting of your new school project, and as an expression of our admiration, great respect, and warmest best wishes for success in the days and the years to come, we are pleased to confer upon you this governor's citation. All right, we'll be doing 3 more of those later in the week. You guys will all have these memorized by now. In the meantime, I would like to leave you in the good hands of Principal Logan from Billie Holiday Elementary School. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone here with us in person and those of you tuning in virtually. My name is Denisha Logan, and I am honored to be the proud principal of the new Billie Holiday Elementary School, where every child is a star shining bright. In 6 more days, our young leaders will walk through their brand new 21st century building. The building will come alive with little smiles, voices, laughter, playing, and learning. The arts will be woven into our everyday learning. Our babies will experience education through moving, touching, discovering, expressing themselves. The new building will be a magical place for those babies in pre-K through 2nd grade. And our staff will finally be able to connect with families in the community. All of this will take place in an air-conditioned space full of the latest technology, open spaces to safely play and explore, and an abundance of resources for our teachers to grow their crafts. It has been a journey navigating the pandemic, connecting with our families in the community during construction, holding activities on the corner of Mosier and Wheeler, and on the James Mosier baseball field. Renaming the school with students, families, alumni, and the surrounding school communities was magical. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Dr. Santelises, Baltimore City Schools, the Board of Commissioners, Mayor Scott, the City of Baltimore, the 21st Century Schools Office, our CLN 6 ILD, Dr. King, our network manager, Ms. Lugay, the network team, our generous community partners, our patient and understanding families, and our flexible and amazing staff. None of this would have taken place without you. In the words of the beautiful, strong, and talented Billie Holiday, if I'm going to sing like someone else, then I don't need to sing at all. We are excited to bring something special and innovative to the future leaders of West Baltimore. Programming and learning unlike any other. Watch Billie Holiday shine as we create our unique song. Thank you. And I'm going to bring up one of my seniors in the building, 2nd grader. Yes, she's a 2nd grader and she's a senior. Mercy Lineberger. And she does not need a script.
I feel so happy and thankful to be a part of this new school building. Billie Holiday Elementary School will help all of our dreams come true. I want to grow up and be an actress. I'm so excited to be a part of the school where I can learn about arts and crafts. And I would like to thank my teachers, my principal, and my classmates. And I would like to thank the people who built our school. And thank you.
Moving fast. And now I'd like to introduce my partner, Principal Alzada Spencer of Katherine Johnson Global Academy.
Greetings. As stated, my name is Alzada Spencer, and I am the proud principal of Katherine Johnson Global Academy. On behalf of our students, staff, family members, community partners of Katherine Johnson Global Academy, formerly known as Calverton Elementary Middle School, we humbly thank you for the opportunity to learn, teach, empower, and lead in the state-of-the-art facility. Recently, during our 6th and 7th grade summer bridge programs, we asked our students, how does this new building make you feel? Or what do you think about the new building space? Some of their responses were, it's beautiful, it's bright, it's open, it's clean. It's like a high school. Is this really all ours? It's my dream school. They also chimed in and said, this building makes me feel loved, appreciated, important, and happy. The sense of pride and joy I witnessed on their faces was refreshing, and it filled me with so much hope and promise. Our children and communities deserve spaces like this, and we are just thankful for the opportunity to learn and grow in such a beautiful environment. Our current building space is built on a 13-acre site that provides plenty of green space for outdoor activities. It has 5 science labs, 3 major technology labs, a media center, a media productions room, multiple collaborative spaces, and so much more. Our students were amazed with the amount of technology and learning spaces that will enable them to collaboratively work together and pursue opportunities that will prepare them to become global citizens, student and future leaders, while empowering them to use their student voice to impact the world around them. We understand that with a new school building comes a lot of responsibility. It gives us great pride to follow in the footsteps of the late Mrs. Katherine Johnson, which our school building is proudly named after. She was a true trailblazer for women in the math and science field and left an astounding legacy for the work she contributed to NASA. As we begin our next chapter as a STEAM instructional-focused school, our building was built to focus on science, technology, engineering, the arts, and mathematics. We're excited to be back in our home, in our original community. KGGA is destined for greatness, and we will strive to leave a legacy that will impact the world around us. We welcome our students and staff members and families back, and we challenge every student, staff member, parent, community partner to live up to our motto to be the change and change the narrative. At this time, I would like to introduce our outstanding 8th grade student. I am so very proud of Rachel, she has a twin, Rachel, as she had perfect attendance in the midst of a pandemic and adjusted to a new way of learning with ease. Her strength and dedication to education is empowering, and she pushes me to be a better person and leader. At this time, please welcome Miss Rachel G.
Good afternoon, parents, teachers, and students. I would like to welcome you all to the 21st century opening of Katherine Johnson Global Academy. My name is Rachel. I'm entering the 8th grade. For the past 2 years, I attended Calverton Elementary Middle School, so I have a unique perspective. I'm excited about the new opportunities like the art class, the gymnasium, music, joining track, and the new tech. Now, how would this help me? I would like to be a nurse when I grow up like my mom. With this new building, having a new tech class, it could help me learn so many new things on how to become a better nurse to all patients in need of help. It will just help me, it won't just help me, but help many students find a new source of learning to accomplish their dreams and what they want to do in life.
Thank you so much, Rachel. At this time, I would like to welcome my colleague in the work of leadership, Mrs. Carlillian Thompson, the proud principal of Robert W. Komen.
Thank you. To Dr. Santalise, our CEO, Ms. Goodwin Askew, my ILED, to the amazing Robert W. Komen family, which includes teachers, students, parents, staff, and partners. I'm filled with mixed emotions today. I was honored to have an instructional leader, Ms. Brenda Allen, who saw leadership abilities in me when I was a classroom teacher. She took me out of my comfort zone and developed me to be her successor after she retired. As a school leader, my outlook changed. This was no longer just a job for me, but was now my ministry. I realized in order for students to be successful, we had to minister to the needs of the whole child. Jeremiah 29:11, the Message version says, "I know what I am doing. I have it all planned out. Plans to take care of you, not abandon you. Plans to give you the future you hope for." This verse in the Bible was the scripture that inspired me to believe that we would be the recipient of a 21st century school. As a school community, we came together. We planned, we prayed, we planned, we prayed, and we were told, well, this is just a planning process, but there's a limited amount of schools on the list. Well, here we are today. For the last 2 years, I drove by the site watching the construction of our building. On last week, we entered the building with a vision of loveliness beyond what we expected. Teachers were in a state of awe looking at how beautiful the building is. Students can now enter the building with the best of everything. The building has climate control features that allows each classroom to adjust its own temperature. Teachers are now able to utilize the latest state-of-the-art technology for teaching and learning. Students have opportunities for robotics, STEM, and project-based learning.
Having a 21st century building means that there are no physical barriers interfering with teachers providing instruction for students meeting academic success. It is a dream realized, no longer a dream deferred. And at this time, I have the proud opportunity to introduce Ms. Yamina Jefferson. She is a 5th grader at Robert W. Komen. But for me, the roots of this child goes back even further because I was her father's teacher when he was in pre-kindergarten and elementary school. I now introduce to you Yamina Jefferson.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Yamina Jefferson. It is my privilege and honor to stand before you today to present the 21st Century School Building Program Ceremony for Robert W. Komen Elementary. With the help of this organization, students such as myself will have the opportunity to build, focus, learn, and strive for excellence, not only for the students, but for our staff, our families, and our communities. The 21st Century School Building Program has not provided a new building, but is helping the children of Baltimore City feel more confident and making it a safe environment for us. From school projects to school talent shows, our new school will be filled with joyful and exciting memories. With that being said, we look forward to a great and safe school year. Congratulations on the other schools. May the journey of rebuilding continue to strive in our city, and may we have many successful years to come. Thank you.
And at this time, I'm honored to bring forth our wonderful mayor, Brandon Scott.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to try that again. We are celebrating 3 new school buildings in Baltimore City. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you all for having me here. But let me be very clear and very blunt. There is nothing that any of us going to say that is going to beat what we heard from Mercy, Rachel, and Yamaya. You know now why we have to invest in our young people, because they will tell you what they need. They will tell you how they feel. They will tell you what they value each and every day if you just take a moment to listen. But I am extremely excited to be here today. Today is a great day. But it's not only a great day, it's a historical one, as this beginning of this school year is a historical one for Baltimore City, because we're opening not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 new public school buildings in Baltimore City for our young people in Baltimore City, something that we've never done before, which is something that we all should celebrate and give ourselves a round of applause for. I want to thank everyone that's been involved in the 21st Century Schools program. It shows, Chairman Kelso, what we can do when we work together. It shows what partnership looks like. It shows what investing in our future looks like. And it's the thing that I'm most proud of being a part of in my time as an elected official. But it also shows us how much work is left for us to do. And we know that this is the right thing. There's a lot of conversation right now about what are people doing for our young people? What are we going to do for young people in Baltimore City? And why isn't nothing happening for young people? So I'm expecting to see a lot of articles and stories about the city opening 5 new public schools in Baltimore this year. We invested $26 million into Billie Holiday Elementary, $19 million into Robert Komen, and $49 million into Katherine Johnson Global Academy, where we all stand today. That is a huge investment into our future. That is a huge investment into our young people. And for those who also like to comment about how city schools needs to follow everyone else and do what the other systems do. You heard it from Chairman Kelso. Our school construction program is the model for the rest of the state, not the other way around. Baltimore is leading the way. So when you hear folks who don't know what they're talking about, remind them that Baltimore always leads, and we will continue to do that. And this, and the principal said it best, we're in an air-conditioned room. Those of us who went to city schools know how important that is. When someone says we're in an air-conditioned room in city schools, we say amen. Amen. Because I remember what that was like in school. Delegate Ampry remembers that. Council President Mosby remembers that. And you heard earlier today how the young people feel, that when they have something like this, they feel invested in, they feel cared about, they feel seen. How can we ever expect them to go and grow into the best versions of themselves if they don't even feel like we care about them? This is how we show them that we care. If you invest in them, you allow them to grow into the best version of themselves. Thus, our city will become the best version of itself. And we are now opening state-of-the-art schools with state-of-the-art technology, brand new spaces like the one that we're in right now, and revamped athletic facilities, something that we all know is very important to me. It has always and will always be my priority to make sure that the young people of Baltimore City have the resources that they need, not just to survive, but to thrive. Our city is faced with real challenges, but that does not mean that we cannot invest in our young people and allow them to make it through those challenges. And we have a long way to go in that collective mission. But as long as we're all willing to continue to do the partnership like 21st Century School, continue to put our head down and do the things that lead for these great days, and like the two more that we're going to have, we will make it to that destination of a better and a best Baltimore together. It is our duty to make sure that the generation of young people and every generation that follows them have the necessary tools to become the leaders of not just tomorrow, but later on today. It gives me hope to see the fruits of much-needed investments into our city schools. We know that our public schools buildings were neglected for far too long, and I'll tell a quick story. I was born in 1984. We opened our first new school through this program in 2012. I was 28 years old. So from the time I was born to the time I was 28, we did nothing. That's a long time for us not to understand how we can invest and build new things for young people. But we now, in this time frame, as you heard, have done 28 over the last few years, and many more to come now with the Built to Learn Act. This is just the beginning. Congratulations to all the school families. I look forward to seeing the buildings full of young people, vibrant and learning and active and ready to take on the challenge of the day. And we all know that together we will make Baltimore the best version of itself for our young people. Thank you. The 21st Century Schools team will be proud of me that I didn't forget this time. I did the last time. I am now going to invite up in order. First, I am going to have, let's see here, make sure. I am going to have Principal Logan and Mercy come up, and Dr. Santelises for a citation for me. A mayoral salute. On behalf of the citizens of Baltimore, I am pleased to salute Billie Holiday Elementary School in recognition of today's ribbon-cutting ceremony at Billie Holiday Elementary School. And the 21st Century Schools building plans promise of new and renovated schools will help transform student opportunities and achievement, provide jobs and resources to families, and help revitalize neighborhoods. On behalf of the citizens of Baltimore, thank you for supporting modernized school facilities for our young people and our communities. Congratulations.
Sorry.
And now I will have Principal Spencer and Rachel right. Mayoral salute. On behalf of the citizens of Baltimore, I am pleased to salute Katherine Johnson Global Academy in recognition of today's ribbon-cutting ceremony of the 21st Century School Building Plan promise of new and renovated schools will help transform student opportunities and achievement, provide jobs and resources to families, and help revitalize neighborhoods. On behalf of the citizens of Baltimore, thank you for supporting modernized schools facilities for our young people and communities. Congratulations. And last but not least, we're going to have Principal Thompson and Yamina. Get this up. Yamina, sorry about that, ma'am. Please keep me straight. On behalf of the citizens of Baltimore, I am pleased to salute Robert W. Komen Elementary School in recognition of today's ribbon cutting. The 21st Century Schools Buildings Plan's promise of new and renovated schools will help transform student opportunities and achievement, provide jobs and resources to families, and help revitalize neighborhoods. On behalf of the citizens of Baltimore, thank you for supporting modernized schools facilities for our young people and our communities. Congratulations. All right, and now I have the honor and privilege of introducing another son of Baltimore and a graduate of Baltimore City Public Schools, City Council President Nick Mosby. Mr. President.
Good afternoon, everyone. Today is an amazing day. As I sat there and I watched our mayor talk about his childhood experiences in school when he was talking about air conditioning. Mr. Mayor, I can remember when it got a little too hot. I think the formal instructions were to turn all the lights off in the classroom and for everybody to lay their heads down on the desk for 15 minutes. Is that right? All right, say amen if you remember that. All right. So now we get to come into facilities with actual air conditioning. We get to come into facilities that provide opportunities for our young folks to thrive and grow. We get to come into facilities that our young folks can be proud of. That's what the 21st Century School model was all about. Brandon, I can remember as a young council member with you when there was this controversial bill in the city government to fund 21st century schools. I can remember the debate back and forth of whether we should pass this particular legislation or should we kind of keep things business as usual the way that they were. Well, I'm here to tell you, Dr. Santelice, our children know exactly what we think of them. They know what we think of them based off of when they step foot outside of their homes and they look at the decay, the disinvestment, the breakdown of their communities. They know what we think about them when they turn on their televisions and they see the news and they see violence and they see the issues that are playing out on our streets. They know what we think of them when they walk into school every single day. I can remember as a councilman, Brandon, when I would go to some of our schools and I would do this thing where I would go and I would try to eat lunch in the cafeterias that we expected our young folks to eat lunch in. I would go into the bathrooms and try to use the urinals that we expected our young folks to go to the bathroom in. Our young folks know exactly what we expect them to be. And 21st century schools, it's not just about brick and mortar, but it's about telling our young folks that we are investing in their futures. You know, when I hear Mercy or Rachel or Yamina get up here and speak, I can only think about what they're going to become in the next 12 or 15 or 20 or 25 years. When they understood and knew that the seed that was implanted in them through these schools and through the programs and through the wraparound services that we've been fighting for on the state level, Delegate Ampry, I can only think about what it's going to mean for them to pass that back on to the generations behind. So when we talk about the decay, when we talk about the breakdown of our communities, when we talk about the statistics over statistics over statistics, please do not talk about them unless we're talking about the foundation of what's creating them. Let's talk about getting to the root of our problem. And today, when we're opening up these schools, this $94 million investment into young folks and their future, this is us not talking, not just walking, but this is us doing. So thank you to Madam CEO Santelice. Thank you to the mayor. Thank you to all the school commissioners and everyone that has been involved. And understand and know that this is just a start, and we have to continue to pour into our young folks. Now, I get to call to the stage someone who knew me when I was as young as Mercy, Yamina, and Rachel. She saw me as a little boy growing up. It's probably about maybe 7, 8 years old when I was first introduced to her. So she'll tell you that all the stories I talk about and all the things I say, it's not just something that my staff has put in my talking points, but it's probably the person, and hopefully the person that she's known for a long time. And that's Commissioner Linda Chinya.
Good afternoon. You know, it's been great to hear people talk about listening to our students today, and the introduction that I just got about knowing someone for so long. It is such a proud moment for me to come to ribbon cuttings and have 2 folks that I knew from childhood who are now leading the city. Now talk about what we think about our students and what we bring to them. That's just awesome. In case you don't know it, I was the mayor's first principal and city council president, one of the neighborhood moms that got a chance to see him grow up. So thank you for that honor, and thank you for what you have done and will continue to do for all of us. I also want to acknowledge another important commissioner who is here, and that is Commissioner Kyrie Sykes, who was the previous student commissioner on the board. I want to thank him for joining us because the voice of students was a very important voice in this whole process of 21st century schools. So again, thank you to our council president and mayor and everyone here. And on behalf of the board, Baltimore City Board of School Commissioners, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the 21st Century Buildings program, including the 21st Century Office and the district's operations department, who finished these new buildings in time for the new school year, despite the challenges that we had the past year and a half. The 3 new schools buildings that we're celebrating today will provide a state-of-the-art learning environment, as we've heard about, for more than 1,600 city school students to provide them with the high-quality education they deserve and their families and communities expect. And people have spoken about community, and I just want to say, when we think about community, we should never lose sight of the critical role that our families and communities played in the passage of the Baltimore City School Construction and Revitalization Act that made the 21st Century Buildings program a reality. We would not have these new buildings without thousands of our community, white, black, and brown parents, students, community activists, alumni, teachers, had not advocated and demonstrated over the course of years for the educational equity and modern school buildings for our young people. And so we owe you all also our gratitude and our thanks for what we're doing today and this week. And so now I get the great pleasure of inviting our speakers and special guests to come forward so that we can have the official ribbon cutting ceremony.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out and celebrating this important event with us. If you would like to take school tours, you can see our staff in the hallway. They will have an event badge and a tour guide flag.